So it used to be pretty universally agreed that an important metric of a wine's ultimate quality was its capacity to age. But increasingly, when you open a really old bottle, and I just opened the 1972 Armand Rousseau Chambertin, you're as likely to be met by incredulity as excitement at the prospect of a wine with as many years on it as that. And it's quite interesting to reflect how such a fundamental assumption of traditional wine culture has been put in question, perhaps even inverted over the last 15, 20 years. Why is that? I mean, I think there's some concern surely about fake wine, counterfeit wine that has made people more and more dubious of older wines. But I think another big component of it is how rare it is to encounter a bottle like this with good provenance, whereby it's not moved. And the older wines become, the more fragile they become, the less elastic their corks become, and the more likely they are to be ruined in transit. I think a lot of wines people encounter, particularly in the continental United States, are not in as good a condition as certainly the bottles that I find here in Burgundy. It's one reason I moved to Burgundy. Another aspect perhaps is wine service. I hate sediment suspended in wine. Cloudy wine loses all its purity. It even changes the aromatics. There's some people who say that it tastes great, and they're welcome to drink the bottoms of the bottle, as far as I'm concerned. But so I go to great pains with a wine like this. It's a slightly old-fashioned device, but there's a reason they use them in top restaurants in France. It's not stupid. Rather than the bottle oscillating when it goes from vertical to horizontal as you're serving it, the sediment, when you serve from one of these cradles, just slides down the side of the bottle, and you get almost perfectly clean wine until the very, very last minute. I mean, compared to standing the bottle up for a long time in advance to let it settle and then serving carefully, I think you get an appreciable quantity of clear wine more. So I think oftentimes when people have these older wines at big events, especially big tastings, they're all shaken up. They've maybe even traveled too recently, a few months before sometimes. And the result is people have these sort of muddy glasses of old wine that, of course, seem fatigued and oxidized and have lost their fruit. But a correctly stored bottle, a correctly served bottle of old Burgundy from a good producer, and I think 72 is decent rather than a great vintage, was pretty acid-driven, pretty high yields, definitely chaptalized quite generously. But this is a beautiful bottle. I mean, you can see the color of it. It's still very healthy, still growing and improving in the glass as I drink it, is testament to how amazing these wines can be. They offer sort of savory qualities in addition to fruit. It's not about some sort of necrophiliac exercise. They're still lively and fresh and have fresh fruit, but they have so much else beyond that. So, I'd encourage people to not give up on aging wine. It's really important to my wine life, perhaps because my day job is the ultimate aversion therapy for drinking young wines. And I'd encourage people to try to experience wines like this in France, in the regions where they were produced, to have the maximal opportunity of encountering a really pristine example, because it'll change the way you think about wine, I think, if you get to drink mature bottles like this.